Welcome back to Unfiltered, where we're giving it to you straight. So let me give it to you straight about this. Stop walking on the street, or no, actually jogging on the street.
Walking too.
Or walking, yeah, in general, when there's clearly a sidewalk. I'm driving down Shady Avenue, and there's somebody, like there's parked cars on the right of me, and then there's a sidewalk clearly right there, and then this woman decides to jog oncoming traffic in between cars and parked cars, not the sidewalk. So my issue is there's a sidewalk. You're making this unsafe for everyone. So stop. I mean, I really don't understand like what goes through your mind. Like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna book it on this in between this. I might get a payout. I don't really care. Like if you think you're gonna get it like that, it's not happening with me. I'm broke.
He's on that your fault insurance.
Your fault.
No, but he's right, man. I was in the whip with him when this happened earlier. Like I was in the passenger seat. I got the 3D look at this bitch, and I call her this bitch because I don't understand what you're thinking. Like why are you in the street, man? Like I don't get it. Like he got
sidewalks on both sides. It's not just like, oh, there's only one side. I didn't feel like crossing just yet because you just came out your house. No. You just came out of your house. You hit the sidewalk. You could hit it. Run it. I saw somebody down the road, just one more block.
Oh, yeah,
somebody was using.
Half a block later, there was a real woman jogging on the fucking sidewalk,
Good
like
job.
a normal person.
Thank you.
Like the fact that we got to talk about this is kind of sad. like this is like common sense for our parents. Like you make sure you stay on the sidewalk and cross at the crosswalk. Like what the fuck? That's what they told us. But back over that was James grinding his gears a little bit. So yeah, back over to the other side. If you know producer of Sid/SYD, she is a West Coast producer. She's a heavy hitter in the producing game, and I believe when she talks, I believe a lot of other producers not based in Atlanta or Houston probably agree with her. She came out and said today that she's tired of the auto-tune. She doesn't really like working on she attempts not to work with artists that can use auto-tune on her beats. She says it ruins your voice. She says it does the opposite of what artists think it's going to do. If you cannot actually sing, it's not fixing your pitch. It makes you sound worse, and it takes the melody away from your voice. This is her word-for-word response to why she doesn't like auto-tune. And she says it takes away the originality because it makes you sound like everybody else. And the example they have in this article is Future and Designer. And if you listen to Kanye's Part 2 from his album St. Pablo, if you listen to it before you got the track list, because when he dropped the album, there was no track list. So if you listen to Part 2, it features Designer. Not one person on the planet, because you didn't know who Designer was, just like I didn't know who Designer was, thought that was Designer. And it happens with a lot of other people. I listened to that Little Uzi Vert album, and then when I get to Neon Guts, it sounds like Quavo. I thought it was Quavo killing that track for a little bit. And it's also because I don't trust Little Uzi Vert for actually to kill a track. So yeah, no, I understand completely what she's saying. And again, I've always been a auto-tune connoisseur. If you do it right, I like it a lot. Yeah. I like it a lot. Like I have T-Pain albums. I have at least 2 or 3 T-Pain CDs that are actually owned in my house. So like I'm not here to knock that, but I see it more and more. Like it's almost back to Ron Bros bad to me. Like if we're really close to dudes that just don't know how to use autotune. Shout out to the people that do. Shout out to like Payne, like I said, Travis Scott and Quavo. I think have gotten it, even though every once in a while Quavo takes it too far. But there are young up and coming artists that understand how to use this shit. Dram, I think Dram uses it. He does it pretty well. So yeah, like I said, there's a way to use it. There's just way too many of y'all. Y'all know I can't stand Future Designer. Them niggas don't know how to use autotune. So yeah, there's a hit or miss to me. I mean, y'all love Future. Y'all out here Percocets and everything with him Future. So y'all apparently love listening to crack voice autotune, but I can't do it.
I mean, now I feel like if you don't know how to sing in the first place, then you probably shouldn't use autotune unless you are willing to if you want to do autotune and you're willing to put that much work, you could do that amount of work just to learn how to sing to your ability. I kind of see how she's looking at it, but I mean, autotune has been notorious for what? I mean, what I'm saying is it's becoming its own thing at this point. It's its own genre. I'm not saying now, but it will be. Oh yeah,
no, you're definitely right. Like I said, autotune's getting out of hand I remember reading an article about 6 months ago about how T-Pain started using autotune. And he said when he wanted to, like, when he started learning about it, he went to the owner, the person that created the vocoder. And they found out the vocoder wasn't even meant for this. It was originally for sonar equipment. And he just found out, and using it, like the person that did it found out later that he used it for vocal stuff. There's a big difference between sonar equipment and what they're using with this stuff for now. And T-Pain went out of his way and found the creator and learned from him, learned how the box worked, learned how to use it in different ways. None of y'all are willing to do that. And I know for a fact none of y'all are willing to do that. The only other two artists I know that have went out of their way to learn is Lil Wayne and Kanye, because they went to T-Pain. Oh, and Diddy. Diddy too. Went to T-Pain and studied from T-Pain. Because Diddy gave royalties to T-Pain for that Diddy Dirty Money album, because he was using auto-tune through that album. And I think Kanye, I'm pretty sure T-Pain has royalties on 808s and Heartbreaks too. So like, that's the way you're supposed to do it. You should go out and talk to these people. It's not biting if you go and ask for the advice on how to do it right.
Yeah.
So yeah, just think about that. Because like I said, a lot of y'all know how to use it, and some of y'all, a lot more of y'all don't know how to use it. Over to the other side, it is time again. Every year, Forbes likes to make people know how much money other people make that we don't make. And yeah, Forbes is at it again. We're going to tell you about the rappers that are not in your tax bracket or mine right now. So I'm just going to drop down the list real quick. It's 20. I'm going to drop it down. I'm not giving y'all everybody's numbers. If you want to look up the numbers, y'all can do it. But these are the richest rappers in hip hop as of this year. We're going to start with 20, Lil Yachty. Actually, no, I can give you the numbers. Lil Yachty, number 20. 11 million. Rick Ross tied for 18 with Macklemore and Ryan Lewis. They both got 11.5 mil this year. 17 is J. Cole, 14 mil. Impressive, because that nigga ain't dropping nothing. 16, Lil Wayne, 15.5 mil. Impressive again, because he's not allowed to drop anything. Nicki Minaj, 16 mil. She's the lead lady this year. She's basically always been the lead lady for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
14, Triple OG, Double OG, Super OG, Snoop Dogg, 16.5 mil. Number 13 is a shock, but I'm kind of, you know what? It's going to get mad disrespectful. I'm just going to let y'all know. Mrs. Keys got 17 mil this year, and he's 13 Swiss Beats. But I count that as Alicia Keys money. Like I said, it gets disrespectful when I talk about Swiss Beats and the money he makes. Number 12, it's still disrespectful. Birdman, 20 mil, which if you split that up, that 20 mil should probably be divided up between Nicki Minaj, Drake, and Lil Wayne. Oh, and I guess give a little bit to Young Thug and Rich Homie Quan. I'm dead ass serious. Birdman hasn't made a record in like 4 years, let alone that they're usually trash. He hasn't actually made a record in a couple years. Like J. Cole just doesn't make music until the album drops. Birdman ain't making music.
No, I don't think
everybody else on this list, even y'all know Diddy's on this list. Even Diddy has dropped music. We know his music has not made him as much money as we'll see later in this list, but Diddy's still attempting to drop music. Back onto the list, Birdman was 12 with 20 million. 11 is Kanye West with 22 million, probably more off of shoes and fashion than actual music.
Yeah.
Number 10 is Future, 23 million, cracking the top 10. Number 9, with a big ass loophole next to his name in my eyes, is DJ Khaled with 24 million. That's an asterisk next to that. There got to be an asterisk anywhere I see DJ Khaled on the list for rappers.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I still think he needs to get on that motivational money. The motivational speech money will be great for DJ Khaled.
I think, yeah.
Number 8, our international superstar, Pitbull with 27 million, which I'm surprised he's not higher. Everywhere else outside of America, they love this nigga more than y'all know. He's like the soccer of rap.
He's the soccer. Well, that's pretty intense. Yeah, that's a big deal.
No, he's literally one of the biggest rap artists in the world, and we just don't look at it that way in America. And it's the same thing with soccer. Like, most soccer players get paid more than everybody here in any sport, but we don't look at it that way.
Yeah.
Number 7, hometown Pittsburgh native Wiz Khalifa with the 28 mil. Nice to see him still getting love, because in Pittsburgh his hype is dying down, sadly. Number 6, Kung Fu Kendrick Lamar with the 30 million. I have an update on him later on in the show too. Number 5, which is shocking because he's independent. He's only been out for like 3 or 4 years, but number 5 with 32 mil is Chance the Rapper.
That's really surprising.
Hey man, if you do the independent game right, it comes because you get all your money.
Yeah.
Number 4, and this is where outside of the next 4 people, I don't count the money from rap. Yeah. Outside of 1. Number 4 is Dr. Dre.
Oh yeah, that Compton album, still selling this year.
It's beats. Like let's not play ourselves. It's all about the beats. He sold the beats over to Apple. He's good. Number 3 is Jay-Z with the 42 mil. Even though I understand that Jay-Z still drops some music and all that stuff, he's making a lot more money in other places than y'all know. I'm sure his stock portfolio is crazy. Like I'm sure he has shit on Wall Street at this point. So that's a different one. Number 2 is the last I consider musical artist to be making money musically like this. Drake with 94 million. He's basically the highest paid actual rapper left, or musician left. And number 1, y'all know who he is. He's been number 1 probably for like 10 years straight. He's out here getting y'all with the Ciroc money and everything else. Diddy, Puffy, P. Diddy, Dirty Money, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, think about it. Like we've gone all over the place with the nigga's name. 130 mil. He is the only person on this list that has over $100 million that can be accounted for. I'm sure that Drake might surpass that in days from now because he's probably going to purposely go out and try to prove that he got 100 mil. That's like cornball shit that Drake would do. Yeah. But again, it's a decent list. I know, because I've talked about this list in the past before. DJ Tech 9 falls out.
I guess 50's new. I thought he was a big entrepreneur.
Yeah, but he's definitely, there's a Chance independent and there's Tech independent, and Chance's independent is way different than Tech's independent. Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting list. Again, this isn't really anything to debate. I'm not here to debate other people's money. That seems lame to me. I debate the music, but it's cool to see where people are making their cash, especially since I'm just gonna put this out here. Most confusing person on this list will hands down be Swizz Beatz. I don't care how many.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. how was he even up there? The 13?
If y'all putting Macklemore and Ryan Lewis together still, and I know they're not a group, y'all gotta put Swizz Beatz and Alicia Keys together.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
know. Yeah. Macklemore.
Same thing with Jay. Jay and Beyonce might as well just be a duo in the cash department.
Oh, at that point, yeah.
I don't know what state they got. I don't know what state they got married in, but in Pennsylvania, after y'all get married, y'all entity when it comes to money. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's just an update on that's what I think on that. Shocked to see Lil Yachty made 11 mil this quick, especially I think some of the other mumble rappers are more popular than him. I would have thought Lil Uzi Vert would have got that up there, or they might have.
Vert doesn't have anything paid
that Delivery 2 is you got to pay for that. Oh. And Lil Yachty hasn't dropped the album,
but he's been on a lot of features.
So is Lil Uzi Vert. Again, I'm not trying to argue that Lil Uzi Vert should have more money now, but I can name a ton of other mumble rappers where I'm
you think 21
Savage, I can run down this list. 21 Savage, Young Thug, we already have Future. Yeah, 21 Savage, Young Thug, and Lil Uzi Vert I actually would think would have more money than Lil Yachty. And because they were talking about how bad Lil Yachty's deal was at one point. Mm-hmm. So
maybe got a better
even Post Malone, there are tons of Malone. Again, I'm not saying they're more talented. I'm just shocked that Lil Yachty's making more money.
I don't know about him.
Post Malone has the number 1 song in the country right now. Or number 2. Well, number 1 male song in the country right now. I don't know. I don't listen to Post Malone. Oh. A couple days ago, it came up that the 2 top hip hop songs were Cardi B and Post Malone. Oh. And I was just like, all right, I'm obviously very out of touch with what is popular hip hop right now. Because I'm not a big Cardi B fan. I respect her hustle. No. The more I see her on social media, I respect her hustle more. So I'll give her that. But I'm not into the music. Mm-hmm. And Post Malone's really hit or miss because he can't sing, but he tries to sing.
He does something. He some weird singing auto-tune mixture of.
But I think he knows how to use auto-tune.
He knows how to use it, but it's I don't know what that is. Sometimes he's whining too.
Everybody that uses auto-tune starts whining eventually. Just keeping it real. I'll say you get to about your 6th or 7th time, but I'll heard the song so you're pulling your Drake song. I'm going to start telling her to call you. Yeah, it was Rockstar, which is a cop out because anytime a rapper uses the word Rockstar, it kind of gives them a chance.
Yeah,
remember that also gives you more of a chance.
Yeah.
Back over to our local Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh shit, and I've been telling y'all about laws every couple of days. So new law comes into effect: tax hikes on liquor. So get y'all bottles before it's too late. Actually, it might be already too late, but let me not even stop. We're going to run out there. So there's a new tax. Well, they're raising taxes on alcohol again. So if you're an alcoholic, it's fucking up your money because I know if you're truly alcoholic, you got that shit down to the cent on your budget. So now you got to fuck up your budget a little bit and get this alcohol different. But yeah, they are not releasing the prices yet. I guess they don't want to tell people what they're about to have to pay for. I don't understand that. But yes, again, I've known about this for a couple months. But yes, the state will be raising
Is it just a tax, just like the tax on, so what, like a 10% tax or?
Yeah, it's
on
about
the bottle. Like,
yeah,
that wouldn't be like.
I think it's actually by ounce.
By ounce.
Yeah, which is worse. Like, if you ever been taxed by ounce over just getting taxed by a bottle, it's way worse.
No.
Yeah. Also, in other news, not local, bar owner decides to take a Colin Kaepernick and Marshawn Lynch jersey, and he duct tapes it to the floor of his restaurant as the doormats to come in. He says this is not racist. This is about them protesting, and he is protesting them.
Oh, so then what is it then?
I don't know. I mean,
if it's not racist.
My thing is,
jerseys
look real as fuck.
Well, they look like real jerseys, yeah.
Even though it took more, no, I don't think the Lynch one is real.
No, the Lynch one don't look real. The Kaepernick one looks real.
Right. Which could have been really cheap to get a Kaepernick one.
Yeah. But I mean, just like, what is it supposed to say? You know,
that you walk into the restaurant.
I can understand. Like, there's I think it's some bar somewhere in Pittsburgh that has like all the urinals have like different like sports teams like that are of the team like
that's
Browns,
funny,
Bengals, and yeah, that's funny. And then that's something we're like, oh hey, we're pissing on our our enemies more or less at that.
Yeah, but no, they literally took jerseys and made them into formats
so that you could just wipe your feet on them and be disrespectful like that.
Go
That's just going all full disrespect on.
Go on the page. I'll try to get the link on there later, but no, like I'm looking at a picture of a Marshawn Lynch jersey and a Colin Kaepernick jersey taped to the ground, and I don't see football. It looks like, honestly, God, it looks like people have been walking on the Lynch one. It don't look like many people have been walking on the Kaepernick one. It just might be about what door opens first. But yeah, no, this is still freedom of speech. I mean, I can't say take it down, but it's weird. It's just, like, to me, it's weird because I just don't have time to invest my anger that much
that's
into
a
y'all.
lot of like you're really like, oh, I'm so mad at this. Like, dude, it's like, wow.
Like, for one thing, like, if you really want something to change, I'm not saying this is what I want to happen, but if y'all racist or insensitive motherfuckers really want this to happen, y'all need to turn off y'all TVs. Yeah. Because honestly, God, the only way the NFL will give a fuck about what y'all got to say is if the numbers really drop. Like, I mean, really drop. Saying that, I hope the numbers don't drop because I need this movement to help us. But like, for y'all bitch made niggas that keep on going about this the wrong way, I'm just keeping it 100 with you. If you want this to be changed and you want everybody to stand for the flag, put it in their pockets. That's fucked up. Like I'm saying, this is not my side of this. I'm good at playing devil's advocate. I'm also tired of reading dumbass posts like this every day. It's been like a week that I can go on every day, and it's somebody calling Mike Tomlin a nigga, and somebody out here trying to tape stuff to the ground and having his formats. Like, every fucking day. I'm done. Like I told y'all yesterday, I want to play my fantasy football and I want to watch my teams win games.
That's all. I'm just all I want to do. It's taking everything. I don't know. Taking it too far. You like, I don't know. It just gets me. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I guess I'm over it. I am so over it. Something else I'm over is burning jerseys.
Come on, don't. Just donate them. There's people out there. Like,
send them to Zimbabwe, man. No, they would like to have jerseys.
The actual, this one will be like, hey, we're actually getting, no, they were the winners in 2010. That's right.
Okay, yeah, I had to think about that.
They were the losers in
But shout out to one fan of Dwayne Wade who was shot a video, and the video is him looking like he's about to burn Dwayne Wade's jersey, and then as soon as he gets close with the fire, he pulls the lighter away. He puts a note up that says, "I paid $110 for this jersey," and then the video ends. Because guess something I learned as a child is I can't throw away stuff that people give to me. Because I wanted to like destroy my Sam Bradford jersey as soon as he got bad, and they was like, "Well, your uncle bought that. You need to rap with your uncle." At some point, my uncle was like, "No, he's sorry. You can do whatever you want with that jersey." But I waited like a good year and a half before I got rid of the jersey because I respected the fact that it was a gift to me from a family member. That might not be this case. This is probably a grown ass man because he got a lighter and kids shouldn't have lighters. Saying that, no, like I don't think the jersey is worth anything because Dwayne Wade didn't play any part of his career in Chicago because he only played in Chicago for about 30 seconds. But I still think burning jerseys are childish as fuck.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to see somebody get it and try to like put it out there. That, like, stop doing this.
It's a lot of money. Like be like more realistic about things. Like, you paid money for this. Like, you can donate it. That's all I'm saying. There's a Salvation Army down the road. There's like those little like things where you just drop shit in there, like for clothes and whatnot.
Keep
Y'all do
moving.
it. There's a free store down in Braddock. Go down there and donate it. They give it to people for free. Come on, like there's people out here that could use that. I mean, that's just me. I'm just saying, like, it could be Steeler flip flops or pants. I don't know. I mean,
yeah. No, I mean, I'm fully with you. On the new Cardi B news, since I've been just noticing that Cardi B seems to be part of our show almost every day now. Cardi B is not about snitching, to the point that she's not even about snitching about the police. Which, yeah, like, think about this. I understand that everybody got the code about not snitching, but if you had to tell somebody about the police in a way that would get them in trouble, would you snitch on the police? Just think about it. So Cardi B said a couple days ago that she was roughed up by New York police and was slammed to the ground in a chokehold. Now police are asking her to give up information, and Cardi B won't say anything. She won't snitch on the cops that attacked her.
what?
Yeah, no, like this is a real thing.
This is on some like I'm not snitching for nothing level. Like that's wow. I mean, if I'm getting fucked up, as a police officer, I'm getting paid.
Oh no, like I said, I don't get it. If you got me out here trying to do something like this, there's no way in hell that I'm going to again, I'm sorry. I ain't no snitch, but if I get beat up by the cops and somebody asks me to tell them why I got beat up by the cops, I'm going to tell you I got beat up by the cops. Like, I'm gonna tell you exactly why. Like, no, like there's a level to like, honest to God, I'm iffy on the whole street code not snitching thing about certain things. Like, I'm sorry, man, you shoot a child, you got to go to jail. But when it comes to this, like, this just makes no sense to me. And I respect Cardi B's hustle, but this seems like hustling backwards. Especially for the cause everybody's fighting for with the police brutality, this would be the time to step up and be a pillar in that. Yeah. Instead of trying to just go back to the old street code.
Go ahead and make it a point that sometimes it goes a little too excessive. Other times, there's like, oh no, they're not.
There's also rumors that she kind of went wild. Like the rumors are that she was way out of line with the police.
Oh.
And that might be true. On other police news, we also have some local police news. West Mifflin Area School District Superintendent Daniel Kestanaga was charged with a DUI yesterday. It's an interesting story just because y'all you want to tell every time one of our community members get in trouble. That man was out on 79 out in Butler County, swerving, getting ripped like 80 miles an hour on the road when he got pulled over. And they said he blew like a 5 point something.
Something wild, yeah.
So yeah, like that's
not a 5, like a point, whatever. Yeah, not a. You'd be dead.
Hey man, you'd be shocked what some of these people that live drinking can get through. Like definitely get through. On some more local news, on Smithfield and 7th Street, the Huntington Bank has been robbed for the second time in 2 weeks this week. No, this is not 1958. No, this is not Al Capone or Billy the Kid. They have not found the people that have robbed this bank, but I'm assuming they play GTA a lot because they got really
they got the stars down.
Yeah, like because again, like
how do you let it twice? All right, one time, like.
No, shout out to Philly Phil. He did say if you find a loophole in the system, it's pretty easy to just keep on doing it. My thing is, it's 2017. Like, at this point, where the cameras? Where's the motion cameras? It just makes me think that I can go out here and get this guap. Like, you know what I worry about? Is young niggas gonna think that robbing banks is easy, and they're gonna be like a rash of like attempted bank robberies in the next few months.
I hope.
Like, oh, it's getting close to Christmas. It's gonna happen. You always get them wild stories of dudes coming in like get-go and trying to get the whole register like 2 days before Christmas. It happens. So no, like this is, and again, they got the first time they never found the people that robbed the bank 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, I believe in that 24-hour cold case thing. I don't think they're gonna find them dudes.
No.
So, and I honestly, God, hope they're not dumb enough to be the same people twice, because that's when I can't even I don't rock with crimes, but like, bro, you need to go down. You robbed the same place twice within a month.
In a week?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Point Huntington's like, all right, what did we do wrong? All right, what do our security needs to be up? Like that's like this, the manager or the area manager or some shit, which should be like, let's get this like under wrap. We can't be doing that, like having this like that. Well, y'all fucked up. Maybe you can do it now. We'll see.
Oh yeah, no, that's like I said, it's a weird situation out here. But yeah, on other news, it looks like Montana 300, who is one of my favorite up and coming artists out of the Chi-Town, is coming out and saying that 21 Savage is stealing his bars, which in the rap game, that's like full blown fighting words. I don't care if it's true or not. Like you can't be out here it gotta be true. Now, what it's saying is that Montana says that 21 Savage stole his bars from the Black Beatles remix, meaning there is proof of this. Meaning, after this show, I will be going to do a side-by-side listen of the Black Beatles remix from Montana 300's verse, and now have to go listen to Post Malone's fucking Rockstar song for 21 Savage's verse, which I was not planning on doing. Yeah, some of these bars do look somewhat alike. Also, you know what the problem with this even though I like Montana 300, these bars aren't like crazy. So
they're not crazy, but I mean, if your number one song is, you were just saying that Rockstar's a number one song.
Yeah,
that's my lyrics. Like these are my bars.
Oh no. I mean, no. If 21 really, I mean, if 300 really believes this, then he needs to act on it. I just don't know what the legal cause is of a feature that might not be on an album.
Yeah.
So,
but a single will still.
I don't know if it's a single. Like people put out singles for mixtapes. It might end up being free at the end of the day. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And with this issue, it might be pushed to be free. As soon as it becomes free, there's really nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Outside of there's the small loophole that if they think you're making money off of it from concerts, and they can try to take some of your cash from concerts. But outside of that, there's not a lot to do when money's not being exchanged for a song.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, if he sues him, it's not even going to get much on 21 Savage because it's Post Malone's song. And 21 Savage is not making so much money from this song. So it's a weird battle. Usually we get these copyright issues with big issues like the current issue that we have with the Gap Band.
Oh, the Gap Band over on Bruno Mars.
Yes, The Gap Band is suing Bruno Mars, you people. And also, this is not the first time. Bruno Mars and Robin Thicke seem to have problems when it comes to, because they have that old sound. Like Bruno Mars has a real retro sound going for him, and he's had it for a while. And you tote that line when you sound like the oldies, and then you actually sound like you might just be taking a song from the oldies. And also, the Gap Band is not the band to play with, because the Gap Band, if y'all think there's like the Beehive and stuff like that, the Gap Band got people, so got some old heads out here ready to go.
Yeah.
Please believe me, like the Gap Band, the Temptations, like some of these people out here ready to tell y'all young people about how y'all stealing their music from their youth.
Yeah.
So please believe the Gap Band out here got riders. But yeah, like I said,
mean, like it was I think it's more on Mark Ronson's side. I feel
well, he's the producer, so it kind of
he just steals shit.
Mark Ronson's gotten a lot of trouble in the last couple of years for stuff like this. I cannot lie.
So I feel like he just like I feel like he like I like Mark Ronson like maybe like early 2000s.
Right. He's been around for a while.
Yeah. And I feel like he just kind of lost his touch, and I think he's just been just stealing shit at this point. Like I feel like I mean, not everything he does is like 100%, you know. Genuine.
All right. So the Gap Band won the lawsuit.
This is the Zap Band, I thought.
I thought it was the Zap Band, but the article says the Gap Band. Now I thought it was the Zap Band too, but the article says Gap Band.
And the Zap Band.
And Zap Band. It just says Gap Band here.
I should say more.
It just says Gap Band.
No.
Like I said, no, because again, I thought it was the Gap Band. But it's they're suing for Uptown Funk. It's taken from Oops Upside Your Head from 1979. And they're now all 5 group members are getting a split of 17% of the song's earnings, which
good.
2, 4, 6. Yeah, that's almost 20%. So he's only getting like 15% of his own song at the end of it.
Bruno, well, yeah.
It's 15. Well, that's between the two of them. Mark Ronson and.
That's not even counting whatever the label's taking.
He's gonna split with everyone else.
So that's just really not like going bankrupt on it. Just
yeah. Well, you shouldn't have done it in the first place. That's all. But I mean, it's a dope song.
Now going back to the Zap Band, the first 48 seconds of Uptown Funk take from that band too. So yeah, you've just again. I love samples, but if your sample makes you not have any money, you might have to just think about what you're gonna do.
Why didn't you just like? I feel like they would have been cool about you sampling it, as long as like you paid for it.
So yes, Even though it sounds confusing, Bruno Mars and Mark Ronson played or took from both the Zap band and the Gap band in the same song. Which, if it's not illegal, that sounds cool as hell. It's illegal, so you gotta give people their money.
But like I said, I mean, if they went out and said, "Oh, hey, like let's go ahead and give some royalties in the first place," without you probably could have saved. You could have probably had more than 50% of the song.
One other thing, I know I've been talking the last couple of days about how the NCAA is basically about to get redone from the inside out, and I was talking about how everybody at Nike should be okay and all that. It's over.
Yeah,
it's fucking over. They just put out subpoenas to go into Nike shit, like federal subpoenas. It's a wrap. Anybody who's doing anything illegal in college basketball is about to go to jail.
Everyone's
real
going,
jail. There's a difference between the NCAA coming in and telling y'all to do stuff. The FBI is here. It's over. It's over.
Oh,
people are going to go to jail. People are going to get their eligibility taken away from college or college basketball. Like it's about to be SMU, but for the entire college basketball. Like the entirety. Believe me, because they're going to kick out a bunch of good players, and then you're going to see a bunch of chest passes and layups. So yeah, but no, hey man, this is what happens when people take the money. Because this is all about people taking money to try to get players to come play for them or other advances in life. And I just love, because if you listen to the press conference from the DA, he straight up says, "We got y'all playbook, so we coming after everybody." There's gonna be a movie about this. I can't wait to see the movie because we don't know all the undercover stuff. They sent in an informant, and the informant was going around talking to people. They got recorded footage of people talking about how they got money and they do this for this kid, and they go and they this is on.
It's just too deep. Y'all guys fucked up.
Y'all all got Donald Sterling. Y'all all got Donald Sterling. It's clear cut. Y'all said what y'all was doing, and it's all on recorded video. I can't wait for the recordings to come out because they haven't released them yet. Oh, when they release the recordings and we get our we only be those gonna be like the fucking things for the radio, like the little plugs whenever we're talking. I'm gonna try to pick those all out of the recordings. Any type of awkward shit they say that sounds like it's really incriminating, yes. I can't believe. And again, I only know this from the 30 for 30s I watch, like the 30 for 30 on SMU, a lot of the other ones where they're talking about 80s football, how they used to just pay players openly. There were contracts in the 80s. They had contracts that they signed and shit, and they were getting paid monthly by these college teams. The money's not being filtered around, but the idea is these colleges are pushing these students, and they're being paid to do it, to go to certain shoe companies and to certain managers. That's what's the problem right now. The problem is people that are not students, like assistant coaches. Let's say, it's the easiest way to put it. Adidas goes to an assistant coach on the team and tells him, "We want this kid on our roster. Do what you can. Here's a couple of dollars from you and a box of shoes from him." And from there on, even though it might not be punch you in the face, you're going to Adidas. He's going to keep on nudging you "Hey, you like them new Adidas bounces? You like those Yeezys?" It's always going to be something like that. "Hey, you see them Adidas track shoes? We can get you those." It's always something. It's going to be subtle, but they're getting paid to subliminally do this to these kids, which is wrong. It's completely wrong. Mm-hmm. And on the other side of this is the what is the other one? The manager or the financial advisor one. It's the same thing. The managers and the financial advisors are waiting for these kids to come out of college. So they go into the colleges beforehand and they talk to the assistant coaches and stuff. And they're like, "Hey, I slip you some cash. Tell your boy that I'm a cool dude." Basically that. "Hey, tell him, hey, I look out for him." Do something like that. Yeah. You're basically paying the coaches to give good words for managers and financial advisors. That's illegal. What's funny is it's not illegal to give the advice. It's illegal when you transaction the money, and they have proof that the money has been given to people. So if it was just "Hey, I think this guy's a cool person, he might want to make him your manager," that's not illegal. You can just have your opinion. But the money's been exchanged. The FBI is in it. They said it's over 100,000, but it's going to be more after they get the rest of the schools. Mm-hmm. Rick Pitino's already been fired. The AD at Louisville's already been fired. I'm pretty sure that somebody from Auburn and USC is going to get fired. Again, one of the top executives in one of the top executives in Adidas has been subpoenaed. It's probably going to have to go to court. Definitely, what's going to happen is he's going to get arrested and post bail, but he's going to get put in handcuffs. Wow. It's an embarrassing thing. Even if you get out of it, being in handcuffs and having to go through the little photo line, especially when people know you paid and that you're kind of famous. Like he's not famous, but he's Adidas, and Adidas is basically when they get him on camera, it's gonna be like watching an Adidas logo walk by in handcuffs because we don't know who he is, but we know that he represents the company.
Yeah.
So
Nike, Adidas,
but Nike's now in it. Now again, there's nothing proof that Nike did anything wrong. Let me make that very clear. There's no proof anywhere that Nike did anything wrong today.
Oregon.
Well, Oregon's doing it a little differently because they made their stuff so dope that I would want to go there. They got a barber shop in their fucking locker room. Like they got a barber that's paid to be in the locker room.
No,
like
really?
Oh, that right? Y'all don't think about colleges and especially the black athlete going to colleges. Especially if you're from an urban community, your biggest issue when you go to college, like in a place like Oregon, is who the fuck's gonna cut your hair? Well, if you got dreads, who's gonna help you with your dreads? Like I'm dead ass serious right now. That is a big issue for the African American sports player. Like that's why I'm always curious. Like, what the hell? Who's doing your hair at Oklahoma State? Who's helping you up in Wisconsin? Like seriously, I can say this about a bunch of places, bro. Like when I hear people like, who's cutting your hair in Alabama? Like I ask these questions because they are legitimate problems for me. Like if I move out of Pittsburgh, I'm like, well, how? Like I got to figure out, like, is there a Sally's out here? Is there like they got one of them African boutiques? Like where am I gonna get my shit for my hair? It's a dead ass issue out here for the African American athlete. I remember hearing that all the time. Like who was the big one? Oh, the Utah Jazz in the '90s because they had the postman and everybody down there, and they were and he went bald. Because then you wonder why he went bald? Because there was nobody up there that could give a fade. Nobody can line him up. So after you figure out that nobody can line you up, it's time to just go bald. Like that, and that's a professional basketball team. Even like Utah is like mid-range NBA, but that's a professional basketball team. So I think the same thing about going to Green Bay. You get drafted by Green Bay, you might as well tell your hair goodbye. I don't think there's anybody in Green Bay that can help you. You have to drive down to Chicago every weekend or every week. Like after the game, like I gotta go down to Chicago. You drive down to Chicago a lot. It's the only people that can cut my hair, man. I don't trust none of these people up in Wisconsin. Like I swear to God, that's what it is. Buffalo, who's cutting? Buffalo. I take that back. Buffalo's a big enough city. Buffalo might even be bigger than Pittsburgh at this point. Jacksonville, that'd be one. Even though I think there's black people in Jacksonville, it's a small town.
No, you take that one back.
Take that one back?
Yeah, that one. I feel like it's big enough. And I feel like there would definitely be at least boutiques and whatnot where you could do your dreads and whatnot.
Okay.
And then
I guess it's not just dreads. It's a fade. The fades. Like maybe if I go into the barbershop and they're like, "You want a Caesar?" I gotta walk out. Because the only place I've ever seen the option of getting a Caesar haircut is on video games.
What? I don't know what that is.
You ever seen a Caesar? It's basically like what the low, like just low even.
Oh.
Yeah. But like when video games and in white barbershops, they call it a Caesar. From Julius Caesar's haircut, which will be fine, but then I know you can't cut my hair because I'm like, well, nobody's like, it's a cultural thing basically. Like if I walk in, it's like, oh yeah, I need a fade, and you're like, can you show me on your phone? No, because you're not cutting my hair. So yeah. Back over to what we were saying about the college basketball issues. There is one big thing. Jay Billis and a couple other analysts have come out and said the reason that this will never be fixed, like they can go in and arrest a bunch of people and the FBI can do what they want to do. This will be happening again next week. The reason why the players don't get paid. As long as people aren't getting paid, there will be a room to try to entice people with money because they're not being paid.
I think there should be, I mean, in my opinion, I think there should be some type of like allowance or something. And this is as long as you're keeping up with their classes or I don't know, whatever the stipulation is for what they want to do, but like keeping up with classes, doing, coming to, not doing any, I guess drugs or failing drug tests at that point. I don't know, just enough. Cause like sometimes some of these kids, they can't eat. Like they don't got the money to eat, and yeah, they'll take whatever bribes or whatever. I mean, for food or even just let alone maybe some new clothes or I don't know, anything, just even for books. Fuck, them fucking books are insane.
Last little tidbit before we go off on a little break before the overly unfiltered. I'd like to give an update on what Amani Christian Academy over in Wilkinsburg. Whippeals has now basically is putting their foot down with the Christian Academy about their players and their coach. They've basically censored the coach because I guess the coach wanted to say some stuff about what happened. And the Whippeals is basically, hey, you got to get your kids in line.
Yeah,
Just
he has
straight
no
up
control. Yeah.
They basically said he doesn't have control of his team.
No.
And again, they had to cancel. They had to shut down the game against Jeanette early because of a threat of a fight. Like they said, the fans and players from the team were like getting close to Jeanette's bench in like in a threatening way. I believe it.
Yeah.
If they really canceled the game, it takes us a lot for them to cancel the game. So,
if you guys got the video, please put it under this our video thread. That'd be cool.
Thank you from the person from Jeanette, because I'm telling you now, nobody from Wilkinsburg.
No, nobody from Wilkinsburg got it. Somebody from Jeanette. That's what it's gonna be.
So, and it's gonna get interesting because
they said they started out with a bottle. Somebody threw a bottle, and it's obviously it was Wilkinsburg. The
all right, Jeanette's black too. Like let's not act like this is just like a one-sided thing.
No,
like,
no. It was because the ass was whooped.
Oh, no, they were only losing by like a touchdown. They got bad. Like after people started getting kicked out the game, they started losing. Saying that, I think Imani Christian Academy has gotten it bad enough. I actually think their schedule's fucked after what I just noticed. So they played Jeanette last week. Jeanette was in the title game last year. Mm-hmm. You know who they lost to in the title game? Clarendon. Guess who Imani Christian Academy got to play this week?
Oh, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Y'all might as well go out on the field and just square up. There's no reason to go. Y'all ain't play. You guys want to square up. No, don't get in the huddle. Don't go. You're gonna get scraped. I'm sorry. This is the high school. You have 5 of your players suspended going into the Clarendon game. Yeah. It's a wrap. Just call it a wrap. If you like, because if you can't go there and just take your L, don't even go. Because Clarendon's out here doing real shit with their football team. They're raising real men to play real football. Your kids can't handle that. Keep them at home because I don't need the Clarendon stars. The stars on Clarendon getting hurt because I feel like the kids that are good on Clarendon have chances to do real shit with their football career and their education. And there's no reason for y'all to fuck that up because y'all can't keep y'all emotions straight. Real shit. Like that's why that's the issue with high school sports. Is some schools are more legitimate. So there's kids that are on these teams, even if they're not going to the NFL, they're going to get scholarships to go places to get better education. Yeah. And if, say, they go and break the jaw to star running back of Clarendon because somebody wanted to give him a forearm shiver to the throat or to the nose because he had his helmet off or something. That's some bullshit. And I'm reading this article. I truly do believe that there's a problem with the control of the school down there in Wilkinsburg for their football players. Like, I honestly do. And again, like I said, it's not like this was the Imani Christian Academy beating up on the kids that go to Upper St. Clair. They were fighting kids from Jeanette. They are probably as hood as these kids, if not more hood, because they don't have the city background. And them kids seem to have no problem playing football respectively. Yeah. Like I said, this isn't a black-white thing to me. It's the fact that you can't keep control of your kids. Mm-hmm. And as a football coach, that is probably more important than the football played itself. You're supposed to be raising men. You're supposed to be a third parent, or hopefully, in all great forms. If it's a 2-parent household, you're supposed to be the third parent. Mm-hmm. Like you're supposed to be the person that's supposed to help guide these kids when their parents aren't there to do it. And if you're not doing that, then I got problems, man. And this is coming from me knowing football coaches. Like I'm cool with people that I do know do this the right way in multiple facets of life. So like I can't respect that if what this article says, and I truly do believe this article, because there's no they would never end a game early. Mm-hmm. They don't end games early in Whip Wheels. Like this is sacred to us. I believe y'all fucking up out here.
Absolutely. Yeah. No. The coach is somebody supposed to be viewed as.
You're supposed to be the role model.
Yeah, you're supposed to be a great role model.
When I played football, when the coach spoke, that was it. You shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's right.
So, and I played on a white team. I was like one of 5 black dudes on my team. And still, we all shut the fuck up. We did what we were supposed to do. Honestly, God, in my life, the most disciplined I've ever been was playing football. It wasn't military, but I knew I had to be here on time. Mm-hmm. I had to do this. I had responsibilities and shit had to be done. I had to have my schoolwork done right. Football gave me more drive to do things correctly. I cared about school, but football, if I get a D, they won't let me play. Yeah. That was a real concern to me in school. So for these kids not to take this seriously, it just pisses me off. Personally. That's probably why it seems like I'm real into this, because it pisses me off personally, honestly. Saying that, we will be right back here on Unfiltered, GMWorldWideRadio.com. Again, follow us on at GMWW Radio on IG and Twitter, and GMWW Radio on gmail.com for all the music you need us to hear and review, please. We'll be right back with Overly Unfiltered in about 3 or 4 minutes.